I'm meteorologist Monica Woods with a look at our northern and central California regional headlines. And our forecast is going to feel a lot more like fall. Lots of coastal fog and afternoon sunshine for the valley. It's a very fall feel for the foothills. Sunny skies, but tracking midweek showers in the Sierra. Our forecast highs on our Tuesday, upper 70s, lower 80s throughout the valley and the foothills, 70s for the high country and 60s along the coast. And that's that cooler air that really helps to drive down those temperatures. It's feeling more like the middle of October, where our average high is 78 degrees. Our daily average high temperature this time of year is 93. We're not going to see anything like that in the next couple of days. Air quality improving. We're in the good range here for our Tuesday, with ozone really on the lower side, as well as a lot of that particulate matter from the smoke burning from the fires well north of us starting to get removed from our skies just because of that nice onshore flow. Wrapping up the California State Fair, we've got our Sacramento forecast calling for highs in the upper 70s and right around the lower 80s as we head into the final days of this state fair. Should be a great weekend as well. Here's the reason why we get access to that cooler Pacific air. You can see the onshore flow here with that air just coming straight into that I-80 line for the southern Sacramento Valley, northern San Joaquin Valley, even pressing in through parts of the Central Valley, and a lot of low clouds and fog along the coast. That has very little opportunity to clear. We'll continue to see that pattern into our Wednesday. Again, on the cooler side of things, it's a little less prominent into our Wednesday, and so we start to see slight warming. But overall, we are going to see a much cooler forecast. It's into our late Wednesday, early Thursday forecast that we start to see the shift to a chance of showers for the Sierra, by the way. Delta breeze, well, that certainly helps us with lowering those power bills with less need for the air conditioner for fire concerns. Anytime we have wind, we have to turn our attention quickly to our fire weather. And we'll see Pacific air helping to increase that moisture, and that brings down the critical fire weather ever so slightly. Air quality, we talked about that. It helps clear that pollution out of the air as well. Certainly nice in the summer months when we usually have to deal with pretty thick smog and the ozone building as well. Tuesday's high temperatures throughout the high country and parts of the Sierra foothills, 70s down low as well as up top. We're going to see a much more consistent temperature pattern here than we normally do in the summer, where it's usually very cool in the high country and much warmer for the lower elevations. Even through parts of the San Joaquin County, look at this. We're looking at temperatures in the 80s for the San Joaquin Valley, 70s and 80s as we start to head up the hill, 76 for Yosemite along the central coast. Lots of low clouds and fog if you plan to head over to the coast. Monterey Bay Peninsula, we're in the 60s, and we take those 60s all the way down to Morro Bay. 80s and 70s inland, but nice to see near 90 for parts of the San Joaquin Valley, where we're usually baking in the 100s right now. Morning drizzle, afternoon sunshine for the Bay Area, highs in the 60s. Inland areas, we're going to be in the 70s, so putting us roughly about 15 degrees below average. And along the northwest coast, again, highs in the 50s. Fort Bragg, we're only at 58 degrees. Weaverville at 86 by the time we get to the north end of the valley. Highs are going to be warming into the 80s. Taking a look at the capital region, highs upper 70s, lower 80s for that Tuesday forecast. We would love to keep this forecast going here. Our temperatures are going to stay in the 70s for the high country. Slight chance of those showers coming in Wednesday and Thursday. We'll keep it dry, though, for the foothills, but staying on the cooler side of things with 70s and 80s. And for the coast, again, morning drizzle, afternoon sunshine, highs in the 60s. We'll get a little less in the way of fog coming our way later in the week. Highs will stay roughly about 15 to 10 degrees below average through the rest of the week. We warm up a little bit by the weekend, but it's not until next week that we get closer to average highs in the lower 90s.